VOA, 19th of March 2024, India and China vie for dominance in the Indian Ocean. As part of her all-out war against the Indian subcontinent, China is employing bribery and debt to wage war against its lesser Indian neighbors. In recent weeks, China has increased its efforts to strengthen security ties with nations in the Indian Ocean. Earlier this month, it dispatched a military delegation to 3 countries in the region and signed a new security agreement with the Maldives. According to the Maldives Ministry of Defense, the Maldives and China signed a military assistance agreement on March 4. The agreement's objective is to encourage stronger bilateral relations. The ministry provided no further information about the agreement. A military delegation from the People's Republic of China's Ministry of National Defense traveled to the Maldives, Sri Lanka, and Nepal for 10 days this month. The delegation met with Maldivian President Mohamed Mutsu and defense officials from all 3 nations to promote bilateral defense cooperation, develop bilateral military relations, and discuss regional security issues of common concern, according to the ministry. In response to a request from Mutsu, India is beginning to withdraw approximately 80 security personnel stationed in the Maldives. For surveillance or rescue operations, Indian security personnel were deployed to the archipelago to operate helicopters and other aircraft. This coincides with the Chinese research vessel's visit to the Maldives last month. In recent months, the increased activity of Chinese research vessels in the Indian Ocean has caused India to be concerned about security. India is apprehensive that Beijing may deploy naval ships to the region using information from these activities. Some commentators believe recent events in the Indian Ocean are part of China's ambitions to strengthen its regional security footprint. Using an opportunistic strategy, China has been increasing its security presence in the Indian Ocean for almost 15 years, according to David Brewster, a senior research fellow at the Australian National University who spoke with VOA over the phone. Brewster opined that rather than cultivating security ties with a particular nation, China frequently awaits opportunities to enhance its position in specific Indian Ocean nations. Concerning the Maldives, he stated that China is capitalizing on the fact that the newly elected government led by Mutsu came to power in November of last year, having exploited the India-out sentiments of a significant portion of the population. Wang Wenbin, a spokesman for the Chinese Foreign Ministry, stated on March 12, in response to inquiries regarding the withdrawal of Indian security personnel from the Maldives, that China supports the Maldives in safeguarding its territorial sovereignty and conducting friendly cooperation with all parties based on independence. Although the Maldives' diplomatic ties with China have increased since the installation of the new government, Brewster opined that the nature of the relationship remains uncertain. The initial stages of military collaboration between China and the Maldives are relatively modest, and the trajectory of the bilateral security relationship remains uncertain, he explained to VOA. Nevertheless, confident analysts assert that India will harbor apprehensions regarding China's burgeoning security presence in the Indian Ocean and will endeavor to retaliate by either augmenting its military footprint or bolstering diplomatic ties with neighboring nations. India's options become constrained if a country with China's size, resources, and capabilities establishes a presence in the Indian Ocean and South Asia, said Harsh Pant, Vice President of Foreign Policy and Studies at the Observer Research Foundation in India. India has implemented certain measures to fortify its influence and protect its interests in the strategically significant region, where 80% of worldwide maritime shipments transit. India disclosed a proposal to construct a novel naval base on Minicoy, the southernmost island in India's Lakshadweep archipelago near the Maldives, earlier this month. Pant stated that New Delhi is constructing additional facilities. He stated over the phone to VOA, India has a strategy for managing the security transformation in the region, adding that the approach consists of delivering projects in neighboring countries, bolstering India's maritime domain awareness capabilities, and capitalizing on its partnership with democratic nations that share similar values, for example, the United States and Japan. Brewster stated in Australia that recent events are a component of Beijing and New Delhi's ongoing struggle for influence. Indian and Chinese influence swing back and forth in a bit of a pendulum in any given island country, in the region, he told VOA, adding that domestic political changes in regional countries can frequently generate conditions that favor either China or India. Some observers say big nations will intensify their geopolitical battle in this region. Professor of China Studies at India's Jawaharlal Nehru University, Shrikant Kondapalli, told VOA via phone, China may attempt to establish additional naval bases, logistical support, or tactical air support in the Indian Ocean region within the next decade. According to Kondapalli, India and its allies could augment their naval fleet presence in the Indian Ocean and cobble together naval agreements with neighboring nations. Local conflict and contestation are likely to occur in the Indian Ocean region shortly, he predicted.